If you are looking for a skirt tutorial that will give you that perfect bum lift without it being too tight on the knee area, then this tutorial is for you. Hello everyone, welcome to Estibella Designs, where I share detailed cutting and sewing tutorial every week. If this sounds interesting to you, then go ahead and tap on the subscribe button so you don't get to miss any of my latest sewing tips and tricks. So I folded my fabric into two. I use the biggest circumference of my body, which is my hip, and we are going to be doing a little calculation because we want to do butt contour. And you know, your back hip is bigger than your front hip because of your bum. So what we are going to do, we are going to divide my total hip. My total hip is 41. I'm going to divide it into two. I'll write front and back. So if I divide 41 into 2, I will get 20.5. So for the front, I'll write 20.5. For the back, I'll write 20.5. So what we are going to do now, for the front, I'm going to minus 1.5. So that 1.5 I minus from the front, I'm going to add it to the back. And so the front is going to be minus 1.5, while the back is going to be plus 1.5. I hope you understand. So if I do this calculation, I'm going to get, so for the front, it's going to be 20.5 minus 1.5. I'm going to get 19 inches. So the front is going to be 19 inches. Then for the back, it's going to be 20.5 plus 1.5 is going to give me 22 inches. So the hip we are going to use for the back is 22 inches. The hip we are going to use for the front is 19 inches. I hope you understand. But when we want to mark it on the fabric now, since it is on fold, we are going to still further divide this figure that we just get. That means for the front, we are going to divide 19 into 2 when we want to mark it on our fabric because our fabric is on fold. Then for the back, the 22, we are going to divide it into 2 again. I hope you understand. Okay, so let's continue. So now I've marked my starting point line. So from that starting point line, I'm going to mark my knee length. My knee length is 18 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 18 inches. Then my skirt length is 39 inches. I'll also go ahead and mark the 39 inches. So the remaining fabric, I'm going to just use it to do turn up. I'm not going to cut it out. I'll just use it to turn up the lining. Okay, so if you want to cut yours, you can cut it out. So I'm just going to rule my line across now. Okay, so after ruling my line across, now I want to mark my waist to hip. My waist to hip is 9 inches. So I'm going to mark 9 inches. So that's my waist to hip line. So I will draw that across. So the top line is my waistline. The next line is my hip line. The next one is my knee line, then my hem line. So those are all the lines. Now we are going to mark my waist measurements. My waist is 30 inches. 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. So I'm going to mark 7.5. Then I'll mark 1 inch for that. So I'll mark 1 inch for that. We are going to use it for that. Then I'll mark 2 inches sewing allowance. So that is what I mark. So on the hip line, I'm going to mark my front hip. My front hip is 19 inches. So 19 divided by 2 will give me 9.5. So I'm going to mark 9.5. Then I'll mark 2 inches sewing allowance. So I'll go to the knee. What I'll do on the knee is everything I have on the hip line, everything including the sewing allowance, I will minus 1 from it and I will mark it on my knee line. I minus 1 from everything I have on the hip line. I mark it on my knee line. So on the hem line, I will mark what I have on the knee. Exactly what I have on the knee. That's what I will mark on the hem line. You see it? So now I'm going to connect. So for me to connect on this hip line, I will go up by 1 inch and go down by 1 inch. This is just to avoid any sharp points. That's why we are doing this. So now I'm going to connect this hip part first before I'm just trying to cross-check the measurement. I want exactly what is on the hip to be on this new line that I mark. So I'm going to connect it first like this. Then I'll connect it to my waist. You see it? This is just to avoid any sharp edge at our hip line. Okay, so I've connected it. Now I'm going to connect my knee to my hem line. You see it? Good. So I'll connect it like so. Now let's create our dart. So I'm going to use my nipple to nipple measurement. My nipple to nipple measurement is 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. So I'm going to mark 3.5. 3.5. I'll mark on the hip line too. Then I'll connect it with a straight line, just to get a straight line. Then I will draw my dart. You know, I left 1 inch for my dart allowance. So on this dart leg now, on this dart line, I'm going to put half inch on both sides, half inch. Then I'll connect it down. So here I want the length of my dart to be 6 inches. So the length of my dart is 6 inches. Then I'll connect that half inch to it to create my dart, just like this. Good. So now what we want to do, we want to eliminate any excess at the front. So I'll go down by 1. You can go down by 1 or 1.5. Then I will connect it to the waist. For me to connect it, I will close my dart. Anytime you are drawing a line that passes the dart, make sure you close your dart. So I've closed my dart and I will draw the line, the curve, a slight curve. So after doing this, I'm going to add half inch to that top that I will use. It is a bandless skirt. I'm not going to attach band, but I will add half inch that we use to turn the lining so that the top of our skirt will be neat and bandless. Okay, so I'm adding half inch at that top area. Good. After adding the half inch, now we can cut out. So I'm connecting it. Then we can cut out. Our front skirt is ready. This tutorial is very simple and quick, but it will give you that perfect bum lift. If you follow what I do in this tutorial, you will have a perfect skirt. It will not be tight on the knee. You know, if some people, if they want to get a perfect bum, the knee will be so tight. They will tell you -8, -6. Your knee will be so tight you will not be able to walk. But this one, I could walk with the skirt. The skirt is so free at the knee and it was still giving me my bum shape. Okay, so now for me to cut from down, I folded this from the skirt length. I folded the excess I have that I want to use to turn the line. I folded it up. You see it? Then I'll cut it. Make sure you fold any excess you want to use as your turn up. Fold it like this before you start cutting. So you see? Good. So you can now cut out. Good. So our front skirt is ready. So I'm going to bring another fabric so that we can cut the back. So I folded another fabric. That is my top line. This is my hip line, my knee line, and my hem line. So I've marked everything. I also marked 2 inches at the edge. 2 inches. Make sure you mark 2 inches at the edge. That's what we are going to use to create our zipper allowance. Then we have another line we need to mark, under butt. Your under butt line is 6 inches from your hip line. That is what I'm marking now. So mark your under butt line is 6 inches below your hip line. So that's what I just marked now. We need it. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is to impute my waist measurements. My waist measurement is 30. 30 divided by 2, 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. So I'm going to mark 7.5. Then at the back, I want to use 1.5 as my darts for the back. I want the darts for the back to be bigger. So I added 1.5. Then I added 2 inches sewing allowance. Then I'll come to the hip line. Now I'm going to use, please take note of what I want to do. For you to mark the hip, you will use that original hip. That's when you divide your hip into 2, we got 20.5, right? So that's for the back hip. So that is what I'm going to use. If I divide 20.5 into 2, I'm going to get 10.25. So that is what I mark. Then I added 2 inches sewing allowance. So now pay attention to this part. Now that extra 1.5 inch that we remove from the front that we want to add to the back, this is where we are going to put it on this zipper side. So from that zipper side, I will take that 1.5, I will divide it into 2, I will get 0.75. So I will mark 0.75 there. Then I will connect it to my waist. Do you understand? You see it? So that is the extra now. That is where we are putting that extra on that bum area. So now I will go up on this my under butt line. I will go up by 1 inch. Then I will connect to that my hip line that we just mark 0.75. You see it? We want to draw it smoothly so that it doesn't have any sharp edge. You see it? So that's how I connected it. So now to connect, I'm going to go up by 1 inch, come down by 2 inches, just like we did at the front, to avoid any sharp edge. So now I want to mark on my knee. So what I will mark on my knee is everything I have on my hip. Everything I have on my hip minus the 0.75. Don't start marking for the 0.75. Oh, leave that 0.75. Just mark what we have, that 10.25 plus 2 inches sewing allowance. Come and mark it on the knee. You remove 2. You remove 2 inches. You know, for the front, you remove 1 inches, but for the knee area at the back, we are going to remove 2 inches. So exactly what you have on your knee, put it on your hemline. Shikina. So now I'm going to connect everything. Please, if you don't understand that part, just rewind, okay? So now I'm going to connect from the waist to the hip, from the hip to my knee, then from my knee to my hemline. I hope you understand. Please don't forget, the measurement I took on my hip is minus the 0.75. I did not touch the 0.75. I started marking from the straight line. So what I have, I minus 2, that's what I mark on my knee. And exactly what I have on my knee is what I mark on the hemline. So I'm connecting everything. I just try to explain that part again so that you don't get confused. Okay? Okay. So I'll connect everything. Now, let's create our dart for the back. I hope you can see the shape we are getting at that zipper allowance. So now we are going to add, now let's add our zipper allowance now. So I'm going to add 1.25. I'm going to follow the shape. You see where I'm adding 1.25 on the hip is after the 0.75. That's where I added the 1.25 for my zipper. So I'll just add 1.25, 1.25 straight down. Then I'll connect it. So that is going to be my zipper allowance. You can see my zipper allowance is following that shape. Are you seeing that bomb shape? That is how my zipper allowance will come. My zipper allowance will not be straight. Okay, so that is exactly what I'm doing now. I'm connecting everything together so that we have that beautiful bomb shape, so that when you wear it, your bomb will just come out. Okay, let's continue, don't mind me. All right, so I'm just trying to connect it very well so that everything sits perfectly. Okay, so after this, the next thing I will do now is to mark my dart. So we are going to mark the dart. I'm going to use my nipple to nipple line. My nipple to nipple is 7. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. So I'm going to mark 3.5. Seeds 3.5. Then I'll draw the straight line. The length of my back dart is going to be 5 inches. I don't want it to be so deep so that it doesn't affect my hip. So I'm just going to use 5 inches as the length of my back dart. Then remember we added 1.5 as the dart allowance. So I'm going to share 1.5 on this line. It's going to give me 0.75 on both sides. So I'll connect it as my dart. Good. So one more thing we need to do is to add allowance at the top. So I'm going to add 1/2 inch allowance to turn my lining. And we are done. We just need to cut out. And for us to cut out, like I said at the front, the allowance down, that plenty allowance I have down, I'll fold it up. Then we'll cut. Okay, I'm folding my dart. I told you anytime you are going across a dart, always fold the dart so that everything will come out well. So I'm folding the dart, adding the allowance, then I'll start cutting from there. I'll just cut the, while it is still folded, I'll just cut it out. Can you see how beautiful our hip is coming out? So now let's cut the zipper side. So we are just going to cut the zipper side too. You can see how beautiful this skirt is. We have not even sewn it though, it's already looking beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to notch all this area, just notch them Notch them so that when you want to join them, everything will be easy for you. So I'll just notch them, then we'll go ahead and cut our lining. So for us to get the perfect length of our lining, what we are going to do, I will fold the from the hemline, I'll fold it like this. Then I will measure from the top of the skirt. Don't measure from the center front. You know the center front, you remove 1 inch. So measure from the side, then get to the this part that I'm touching, go down again by 1 inch. From the edge of the end of the skirt there, go down by 1 inch. That part I'm marking, whatever the length is, 39, that is what we are going to use, because that 1 inch we are going to use it half inch to join the lining, half inch for the cloth, half inch for the lining. So just mark exactly what you got. Me, I got 39 inches, so that is going to be the length of your lining. I hope you understand. So I'm going to mark 39 inches across like this, then I will place my skirt on it. That is going to be the, if you use it like that, to give you your perfect length. Okay, so I'm just going to cut it out. This is for the front. After this, we'll now cut for the back too. The same thing for the back. The length of the back too is going to be 39. Was it 39? The length of that lining, sorry, I don't think it's 39. I can't remember. Just measure yours. You saw where I asked you to stop. That's where you should stop. No, the length of the lining is not going to be 39. It's our actual skirt that is 39. So I'm going to do the same thing for the back. That same length, the way I showed you, that is what is going to be. I can't remember what the length of the lining is again, but just do it the way I showed you. Okay, so I'm just going to cut for the back too. Make sure I notch everywhere. Okay, then I'm notching the dart too, so that it will appear everywhere, so that I'll be able. So now for me to transfer my dart, I'll just fix a pin inside that point. So through that pin, I'll be able to get my dart on all the pieces. You see it? So I have imputed my dart everywhere using that pin. Good. So now let's sew. It's time to sew. The first thing we're going to do is to sew our dart. So I'm going to sew my dart on all the pieces. You see it? Each one, I'm going to sew my dart. So let me go ahead and sew the dart, and I'll come back to show you. So guys, I've sewn the dart and I have pressed it. See, my dart is sewn on all the pieces. We are not going to do backed out seam. We are going to just do, is this one too is called knit finishing, because everything is going to be knit. So I'm going to bring my front now. This is the right side. I'll place my lining over its right side, facing right side. You see it? Then I'll sew everywhere. I'll sew the top, sew the down. First of all, I'll sew the down. After sewing the down, I'll lift it up. I'll lift the lining. You know the lining is shorter than the fabric now. So I'll lift the lining up to sew the waist. Then I'll sew the two sides. Then I'll leave a tiny space by the side so that we can use it to turn it out. You know, since we have clothes everywhere, we need a place to turn it out. So for the back, I'll do the same thing. I'll put right side facing right side. I'll sew the down, sew the top, and I'll sew the two sides, leaving a little space for us to turn over. Okay, that's what I'll do for the two back side. You know the back has two pieces, so I'll do, please take note of your zipper allowance so you don't mix them up. Okay, so I'll do the same thing for the other back side. This is the other back side. I'll do the same thing. I'll go and sew it, then I'll come back to show you what it looks like. Okay guys, so I'm back. I've sewn them exactly the way I showed you. See it, and I've ironed it neatly. You can see everything is looking very neat. I did it for the front and I also did it for the back. So now let's take care of the back first. So I'm going to put them together, the two back. You see it? So on the zipper side, that's the zipper side. So I'll put them together on the zipper side. Then I will mark my zipper allowance. You know we added 1.25, but I have sewn 1/4 inch to turn, so I'm left with 1 inch zipper allowance. So the length of my zipper is going to be 10 inches. That is what I'm marking. So that's 10 inches. Then my slit from down upward, my slit is going to be 19 inches. So that's what I mark. So now I'll go to my sewing machine. I'll sew loose stitch from the top. I'll sew tight stitch in the middle and loose stitch at the hem, because the slit we are going to lose it. Then the zipper side we are still going to lose it. So I'm going to use loose stitch at the zipper side and the slit. The only tight stitch is going to be at the middle, because we are still going to lose that zipper part and we are going to lose the slit again. So I'm going to use loose stitch for them. Okay, I like doing this so that I can iron it and get a crease line. That is why I like sewing it with loose stitch, even though I'm going to still lose it again. So now after connecting, I'll just go to my sewing machine to stitch down, then I'll come back to show you what it looks like. So guys, you can see after joining this zipper side, you can see that there is space for your bum to sit. Are you seeing that it's not flat? Is having a little bulge. That's because that's the place your bum is going to sit. So I'm going to lose the zipper allowance so that I can go and fix my zipper. So guys, I've gone ahead to fix my zipper. Now let's join both front and back. So this is how we are going to do it. I'm going to measure everything I have on the waist for the front. See it from beginning to end. Measure everything you have from beginning to end like this. That's for the front. Wherever you stop, continue to get everything for the back. You see it? So everything you have on the front and back, add them together, then minus your original waist from it. My original waist is 30, so I'm going to minus 30 from what I got from this both front and back. Whatever answer I get, I'm going to share it into two. I'll put one on one side here, put another, see, I'm going to put here, then put on the other side. That is how to shape. Then I'll come to the hip. I'll measure everything I have on the front hip. Are you seeing it? Everything I have on the front hip. Then I'll go to the back. I'll continue my measurement. See it? Oh, I'll get everything. Make sure you stretch it out so that you get everything. See the way I'm doing it? So now this is everything I have for the hip. Then I will minus my original hip from what I got, the answer I got. I'm going to impute it. I'll share it into two. I'll put one part here, connect it, then I'll put the other part on this other side. You see it? Then I'll connect it. That's how to shape. Then I'll come to the knee. At the knee area, you will decide what you want to minus from your knee. Like me, and whenever I minus 6 from my knee, it always make my skirt too tight. I will not be able to walk. So now I minus 4. So what I'm going to do, I'll minus 4 from my hip. My hip is 37. 37 minus, my hip is 41. 41 minus 4 will give me 37. So whatever I get on this knee area, I will minus 37 from it. So that's what I'm going to mark on my knee. So anything I mark on my knee, that's what I'm going to mark on the hemline. Then I'm just going to connect everything. Are you seeing it? So let me do it, then I'll come back to show you the final look. See the final look now. Are you seeing the feet? Look at the feet, and the knee is not tight. That is the catch of this tutorial. The knee is not tight, and for your knee not to be tight, please minus 4. I'll be making a very beautiful blouse for this skirt. If you want to see the tutorial for the blouse, write it in the comment section and I'll create the tutorial for the blouse. Thank you so much for sticking with me to the end. I will see you in my next video. Bye.